Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aunts, nieces, nephews, uncles, cousins, grandma, grandpa, it's the world's most dangerous podcast.
Dope Dealers Podcast.
You know what it is, episode 77?
Yeah, 77.
Oh, man, we are moving and grooving, man.
Yeah, man.
It's your man Jamal Doman, at Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
At Tobe Hixx, TOBEHIXX.
Yeah.
Shout out to the troops.
Yes.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, the Bloods, and the Crips.
Yes, definitely, man. You know, we do it for all our armed forces overseas serving, man. We love you guys.
Everybody but the white supremacists.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Fuck the white supremacists. That's what we do not do it for them. That is not dope dealer shit right there. That is your dope independent music opening up. That's one of the homies. That's Critter. Critter, we had him on the show.
Yeah.
Representing the Bay Area.
Managed by Ernest Harden III.
Yeah, Ernest Harden, yeah. Critter, that's his new joint, man. It's called Story Never Told. Story Never Told, man.
Cool.
That's new, and I guess he's coming out with a new project, man. So we might have to have him back on the show soon, man.
Yeah.
What's up, Tobe Hixx? We good. We got a incredible show.
Yeah,
a serious,
dynamic one.
deep show. We got our OG, our homie.
Yeah,
like one of our mentors is in the house.
Before we get started, though, I'd like to give a thanks to Paul for having me out last Wednesday at O'Donovan's in Pomona.
Yes,
It was a great time. Some bad bitches. This nice small crowd, but some bad bitches. It was some nice looking women out there, young girls.
Paul, go ahead, Paul. Paul is our engineer doing this thing.
Paul,
also a talented comedian who throws.
Paul got on stage and asked the women like, how did y'all hear about this? Like they wasn't supposed to be there and shit. I was like, what the fuck you ask them that for?
Paul ain't used to all them beautiful women there, man. First thing, rest in peace to the legend, the queen, Toni Morrison. We lost her today. Great author, Nobel Peace Prize winner, Pulitzer Prize winner. We lost it today. Toni, so rest in heaven, queen, definitely, man. And definitely all our prayers and wishes to the victims and the families in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio.
You mean Toledo?
No,
Trump,
El Paso,
Trump said Toledo, my bad.
That retarded motherfucker,
This motherfucker couldn't get his city
And did you see the teleprompter? It said Dayton and El Paso.
Yeah, he didn't.
Somehow he saw Toledo. I don't know what the fuck he was reading.
Because he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. We all know that. They somehow he want to come to El Paso. You know they don't want him to come.
No, why?
They said that.
Shit, he the reason why they having all this. Why the shit's going down like this. So why they grieving? Yeah,
definitely our prayers and wishes with the families and that horrible, horrific. And we're going to get more into that. That just happened. We already had a show planned today, but maybe next week we can delve more into that.
Well, there'll probably be another one by next week.
Yeah,
shit, we're going to have some new shit to talk about.
You know what's crazy? Before we bring our guests, our special guests in, man, it's funny that you say that because I was in the Rouse, like maybe a couple hours ago, I went to Rouse. And, you know, I walked in and
I told you about my experience at Ralph's. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. But I'm in Ralph's and I'm shopping and it hit me like while I was shopping, like, oh, shit. I seen a couple white guys in there shopping and maybe I was profiling, but I was like, oh, shit. Let me hurry up and get my food because I'm thinking.
Yeah, these motherfuckers might shoot up
At first, I wasn't thinking
Ralph's.
about it, but I was like, these, you know, and I was really nice to all young white men I've been nice to. I let a motherfucker get in line in front of me. I'm like, go ahead. I don't want no issues. It was a couple little white boys in. I guess they was looking for a job. They was talking to the manager. And I guess the manager was telling them they not hiring right now. And I was like, man, I hope these motherfuckers don't go outside and be mad that they ain't hiring.
I told my son and my daughters, like, make sure you pay attention to your surroundings now. Because especially, you know, we live in a Latino populated area. Ain't no telling them white people, they ain't really looking for us no more. They want to kill the Latinos because of the Trump shit. He talking about they rapists and drug dealers.
Yeah.
So now they looking at. I tell them keep your eyes open.
Yeah,
that shit is serious.
I got it.
No, okay, come on, jump in.
You know what's funny, guys, that y'all are not paying attention to? All of a sudden, everybody paying attention to white guys murdering people and mass murdering people. this is not new.
Oh, no,
These
it ain't
the
new.
same guys that
just
enslaved us, raped us, took our names, our language. We don't even know who we are because of these guys.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden, because we got cameras and we in the
cameras,
information age, they like, oh wow, white guys are dangerous. White guys have been dangerous since the beginning of time, since they got here. I don't know where they came from.
They got out them caves.
They got here.
Ever since they got out them caves, they've been fucking shit.
They've been murdering people, raping people, destroying whole societies.
Stole the country.
And here's the trick. They have y'all scared of black men, and they are the most dangerous men on the planet, hands down.
One of the biggest mind control tricks ever. Well, you know what? Let's get it started. That voice you heard is our special guest for the day. He's an award-winning actor, comedian, stage, film, and television. You've seen him on HBO, BET, Stars, NBC. Done plenty of movies and TV shows with Oprah Winfrey, Robert De Niro, Bill Murray, Uma Thurman, Stephen Williams. Oh, the homie Stephen Williams, man. I think I met him at one of your shows, too. Bernie Mac and many more, man. He has a #1 selling comedy CD on Uproar Entertainment label. It's called Too Real for Y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, Chicago's finest, Evan Lionel is in the house. Yes, EL is in the house.
With a bell.
Man, we don't need the bell, man.
Oh, man, we ain't got the
young homies, Tobe.
There you go.
Jamal, I'm not gonna say your government, Jamal.
What's up, man? Welcome to the show, man. And then just already you dropping jewels already, man. That's already, man.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate. I did study history, and I'm a graduate from Columbia. And the history is clear, and they made us study and learn their history. And it's been a history of murder, rape, and pillaging societies all over the globe.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, because we have cameras everywhere now, people are like, oh my God, they're white supremacists. They're dangerous. They've been fucking dangerous.
Yeah, they don't
hell?
They don't even need a robe these days. They like, fuck it. We coming out in person. You can see our face.
Yes.
They ain't hiding behind the robes that much anymore. They just out there.
And Trump communicates with them. Y'all don't know he communicates in code. He says certain words that trigger these guys.
It's an invasion.
And these guys take it to heart and they go, Trump is going to help me. This dude gave up to the police. They hadn't even called him. He literally saw a police officer, went to him and said, I'm the shooter.
That's white privilege.
That means he believes he's going to be protected.
Oh, they say they questioned him. They say he's showing no remorse in
He put a he has no remorse.
No remorse like this.
Yeah. He told them he went there to kill Mexicans.
As many Mexicans as he can find, man.
They're
drove 600 miles, nigga.
Well, 9 hours.
600 miles, nigga. Hey, look.
9 hours.
I've taken part in some drive-bys, and we didn't go that goddamn far.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
You know, we didn't go that far. Shit.
Yo, that's that. To a border town, to a Walmart. He knew what he was doing. He was doing, man. So just crazy, man. But man, welcome.
That ain't why we here.
How you been, man? Everything been good, man?
I've been good, Jamal. It's great to see both of y'all, man. Y'all know y'all my homies, ride or die.
Yes.
I came into the studio. A lot of people been asking, have you seen your kids? How is it to see your kids? I have not seen my kids in 5 going on 6 years.
Yeah, let's go right into it.
That's what we hear about.
Yeah.
This episode is I just want to see my kid.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Because you have a situation. So take it from the beginning.
Because you ain't the only one.
Yeah. So a lot of brothers, and that's what I like about you getting your word out and getting this whole story out. Because now a lot of brothers are speaking out like, yo, a lot of
I've
this
been
shit,
going through this. People been going through the same shit you're going through. You helping people by talking about it.
So how did all this happen?
Even though I know it's tough.
Let me address what Tobe just said, in that a lot of people don't talk about it. That's why I talked about it, because a lot of people don't. And I was at the court fighting hard. I'm over 100 grand strong in family court. That's the game. They want to rob you, and they use your kids as bait and pawns to take all the money they can from your entire family, you and your ex-wife. So while the women run into these courts thinking the courts is going to help them, The courts is just simply there robbing people. A lot of women take their man to court thinking they gonna get, he's a good man, he's already taking care of his kids. They take him to court thinking they gonna get more money. Then the court go in on them, they get less money. The court take a part of their money, and then all of a sudden they come into the father like, I need this, that, and the other. And then he goes, well, you went to them people on me.
That's what 50 Cent baby mama did. Remember, she was getting like 10 grand, and then he's supposed to sign that big vitamin water deal. She went back,
and they gave her less. That's what the bitch
gets.
Yeah, and so y'all got to get hip to the game. It's not in the best interest of your children. The court has stopped me from seeing my babies for the past 5.5 years, and I ain't done nothing wrong. And I know it's hard to believe.
How does that happen?
Take us back to the beginning of the end, basically.
Very beginning. Thanksgiving. Me and my ex-wife was sitting at the table, and I looked at her, you know, and I said, and both of y'all have met my ex-wife. I looked at her. She's Indian, from India. And I said to her, you know, this ain't working. We need to get a divorce, right? And she looked at me and said, well, why you want to, if that's what you want to do? And we sat down and talked about it and worked it out and everything, but I didn't know her ulterior motives. And her ulterior motives was to have me murdered by the police. Oh, wow. And the police testified to this in court. But the court was so corrupt, they didn't even want to acknowledge the testimony of the police. The police said that my ex-wife had been coming in there trying to rally them up to get them to come kill me. Bottom line. When I asked for a divorce, she felt she didn't want a divorce. She told my mother without my knowledge, if he divorces me and leaves me, he'll never see his kids again. He will lose his house, his cars, everything he has built, I will destroy him. That's what she told my own mother. And I didn't know how somebody could, I never got, you don't give a fuck when somebody say that. We from the streets. I'm from Chicago. Well, bring it on then, is my thought. But I didn't know she already had crooked judges, crooked lawyers already in her back pocket. And I know her family got money, and I know she makes good money. She's always made 6+ figures. So I didn't know anything about family court. I was caught off guard. I was asleep at home with my daughter. I woke up to yelling and screaming in my house. I'm thinking it's some of the comedian brothers. It wasn't. It was police with guns everywhere pointed at me, and I didn't even know what they was doing in my house. True story, on the real. You can check it out. It's in the record. I didn't know what they were doing in my house. They arrested me, wouldn't tell me why they were arresting me, held me without even telling me why they were holding me. Then finally later in the day, they never read me my rights, never told me why I was being arrested. Then finally later in the day after they held me, they transferred me to Van Nuys and still didn't tell me why I was being held. Then later in the day, they told me you're being held for domestic abuse. I didn't even know what that was.
So she, behind your back, she went to the cops and told them some basic bullshit about
lied blatantly on me. And the cops, this for everybody out there that don't understand this. If a woman goes and says, Jamal harmed me and I'm scared of him, they gonna come arrest you, Jamal. They gonna just gonna arrest you based on her words.
And now I gotta come up with a lawyer,
come up
and
with
all
bail
that shit.
and all that to prove that you're innocent. Black men are guilty until proven innocent, not innocent until proven guilty. True. So they gonna come arrest you, right? And once they arrest you, you gotta get somebody to bail you out. The police, when you ask them, why y'all arresting me? Hey, talk to the judge about that. That's all they kept saying to me. Talk to the judge. I said, well, are you gonna read me my rights? Talk to the judge. They never read rights or anything. You could look at the records. They read me my rights after they came up with domestic abuse. I didn't know what it was because I had never abused anybody. I don't have a criminal record. I don't have a history of abuse. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do drugs. I'm an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dangerous like Tobe. I'm not dangerous like Jamal. I didn't live that particular life. You feel what I'm saying? So they really have no reason. The DA threw it out immediately. DA reject immediately. No evidence of no wrongdoing, just based on what she said.
How long did they keep you?
They kept me 24 hours because she said I was so dangerous that they said they got to hold me to do a nationwide check to make sure I'm not wanted anywhere else. And they was checking they did everything. They did check me, everything about me, just mark tattoos, this, that, and the other way, the whole nine. Over just words that my ex-wife said.
So when you got out of jail, is that when did your mom tell you at that point what your ex-wife had said?
No, here's the crazy part. When I got out of jail, Jamal, Tobe, what's the first thing you do? You want to go home, get cleaned up, because they arrested me in a tank top and my jeans, no shoes, no belt, no nothing. You couldn't have none of that. So I'm going home. They say, you can't go home. To my house.
To your house.
My house.
Yeah.
My name on the deed. You can't go back there. I said, what you talking about? I can't go back there. They said, you got 15 minutes to get whatever's yours. I said, the whole house is mine.
Right.
How can I get? You got 15 minutes.
That nigga said the whole house.
You got 15 minutes, sir, to get whatever's yours.
Man.
So I literally said, what? Okay, so I went to the house. One of my homies who was the bail bondsman, he was with me, and the sheriff was with me. They gave me 15 minutes to get my most important stuff, take it out of my house. I've never lived in that house since. She actually forced me to lose a beautiful house in Chadsworth, big, beautiful, $600,000 house. She forced me to lose that with a crooked lawyer and a crooked judge.
Shit. So
hadn't done anything wrong. Once
so
again,
where did you go? Like where did you stay at that point? What was your plan? What did you like? I know you were just fucking flabbergasted by everything. What was your first mindset? What'd you do?
I gotta be real, Tobe. I got a lot of loved ones, and I want to say thank you to all my loved ones. When I called them and put in the call to all my loved ones, everybody had a key to their house for me. You can stay here. Here's a key. Come anytime you want to. You can stay here. And that's love. I thank God for the people out there who are good people who love me, because I didn't know what to do in that situation. And so they gave me keys to their house. I stayed with some friends, the whole nine. And then I had to appear in family court because they tried to do family court, give out restraining orders. And here's why they will give out a restraining order. It's not necessarily true that the man is an abuser or he's dangerous. They give out restraining orders mostly to give a party the upper hand in the divorce and the custody of the children and the division of assets. If you got a restraining order, you can't go back to your house. They can put your kids on a restraining order, and you can't see your kids, even though you've done nothing.
All your shit is just free for all for whoever else. It's just that shit you might as well let homeless people come in and take your shit out at that point.
Yep.
So when you got out, how soon was it? Did you get a chance to speak to your ex-wife?
That's what I was thinking. Did you try to contact her?
I'm gonna be real. When they were arresting me, she came in the house, and I said, the police are here. I don't know why they're here. I think they have a mistaken identity situation. They're arresting me. I didn't even know she was a part of it. I said, I need you to call my mom. I need you to call my sensei, call my family, call some folks, let them know that the police are doing something wrong here. And she just was standing there looking at me. I said, did you hear what I just said? Then she tried to fake cry, and I said, what's wrong with you?
She did the get out on you, like the white girl did the get out.
She did the white girl get out stuff.
I can't find my keys. I need them keys.
Nigga said she did the get out.
Jamal, it was exactly that situation. I need them keys.
Yeah,
that's what
I know you looking at her like, this is my wife.
Exactly. That's it. I never thought about it like that, but that's what it was. And so I said to her, you hear me talking? And she just looking at me. I said, what's wrong? I said, you did this? I'm standing here. You did this? Right. And I said, did she do this? Everybody was just quiet. Police wouldn't tell me nothing.
Damn.
She wouldn't tell me nothing.
Shit.
But I found out in hindsight she was dating one of the arresting officers.
Oh, God damn.
So
man.
So this was all a big setup.
Big setup. And it goes to show you that they can do anything they want to do if they roll up in droves in uniform and they fully gunned up. Really, you can't do nothing but either go with them or lose your life.
So hold on, man. She was cheating, and she still
Yes, she
So
did all of
this was
to cover up the wrong she was doing. She tried to have them murder me, but that's just the beginning.
Oh,
That's
shit.
just literally the beginning. The reason I know she tried to have them murder me, because after the fact, when the cops saw the wrong she was doing, because all of them didn't know what was going on. They just thought I was a bad guy. Like when cops hear the story that say, I'm just using you as an example.
Yeah.
Jamal is a bad guy. Like the cops hear that.
Yeah.
And he's dangerous. He can kill people. He got guns. He's trained to fight, kill the whole nine. They come. They're not worried about what happened. They come in to protect themselves and society against Jamal. And they don't even know Jamal ain't none of that. So once that's cleared up and it's found out, the police apologize.
Right.
They came to me and apologized. They said, you got a dangerous woman trying to get you killed.
Because they could have came in shooting. They could have
They were gonna do that.
Yeah.
They were gonna. Their objective was to shoot and kill me. But I am trained. So when they came in, I didn't know they were there. She had let them in. If you read the report, while I was asleep, she called me and said, what you getting ready to do? I said, I'm getting ready to lay down, take a nap. You know I worked late. I had 2 shows, and I was taking care of my little 3-year-old. So I said, I'm going to rest while she rests. She brought the police in the house while my 3-year-old was in her baby bed and I was asleep, and they was gunned up ready to shoot and kill me, believing that I was a danger to her and my child.
I mean, she was tripping so hard. What if they would have shot you and the baby?
Absolutely, it could have happened. But what happened was, and I praise God and thank God for that, was when they started yelling in my house, I woke up. You know how you wake up out of your sleep? You think somebody playing. You ain't done nothing wrong. You ain't.
When niggas was yelling in my house, they was yelling because they was robbing our motherfucking ass. So go ahead,
Well,
that's not cool.
I thought it was some friends. I didn't think it was bad guys. I opened my bedroom door and I thank God that they had their police uniforms on. Because if they were dressed in black or anything, I would have went into defense mode to protect my home.
Right, yeah, because
and my
got
daughter.
Kids. Yeah, you got kids.
Absolutely, I'd have went into defense mode, and it would have turned into a shootout, and all sorts of stuff, bad stuff, might have happened. I thank God for my training. I thank God for Sensei Master John Vincent teaching me how to handle situations like this. And so, as a result of that, I'm still alive talking to y'all today.
So what happens after that? So you come home. You can't go to your house. You can't see your kids. They got to restrain order on them.
So you basically, at this point, you done lost everything. Basically.
Lost everything. So you go to court thinking court is going to be legit.
Yeah.
You feel me? But family court ain't legit. Criminal court is based on reasonable doubt. Okay? That means if you get the jury, and both of y'all know this, because y'all probably been to criminal court. If you get
I've been to every court.
If you get the jury to just doubt a little bit that you committed a crime, then they can't find you guilty.
Correct.
Because it's reasonable doubt. You feel me? But in family court, it's unregulated and it's simply based on the preponderance of the evidence. And that means a judge can say, you know what? I think that Jamal did this. Just because I don't like the way Jamal looks at me. Jamal looks menacing, so I'm going to say Jamal did it. That's what's going on in family court.
That's crazy.
How did you find out that your ex was with the policeman? How'd you figure all that out?
Wow. This is where when people say they don't believe in God and a higher power, the Most High truly exists. Trust and believe. I finally, because of Wanda White, a comedian y'all know.
Yeah, love Wanda.
She was helping me to see my children. She came to court with me and was sitting in court. And all of a sudden, I went from the primary caretaker of my children, meaning I'm the one that took care of them every day, not my ex-wife. She was gone most of the day. They were with me all the time, in clubs, at auditions. I took my kids everywhere. I went from their primary caretaker to not being able to see them at all, not be able to speak to them based on my ex-wife lies. And so at Wanda was in court, they said, my ex-wife said, he needs to be supervised. So all of a sudden now I got to be supervised with my children, which is insane in itself. I'm their primary caretaker. You don't know our kids like I know them because you're gone out of the country. You're on trips all the time.
Right.
So at Wanda spoke up in court. Evan's an amazing father. I don't know why y'all doing this. This is wrong. She knows he's never harmed her. And I'll be the monitor. And my ex-wife, who always hugged at Wanda and showed her love, looked at the judge and said, I don't even know this lady. knowing that Wanda had kept our kids 2 weeks prior to this court hearing, knowing that Wanda be at our house all the time. She looked at the judge and said, I don't even know this lady. And the judge said, if that woman is going to be the supervisor, then I'll let her be it. And then Wanda was the supervisor. So I got to see my kids. And Wanda, thank you. And I love you for it.
Shout out to Wanda.
And then, people don't understand, the pain that shit causes, because I've dealt with it twice myself. One time my son was, his mother moved him down to Atlanta, and she hid him from me for like 2 years. I didn't see him.
What age was this?
He was about 10 to 12.
Oh, okay. So those were crucial years.
And then, I had no idea where he was at and couldn't talk to him. And then my daughter's mother, she moved to New York. Now I knew where that was at, where the kids were at and everything and that type of thing. They weren't hidden from me or taken from me, but just the fact that you can't see them when you used to seeing them every day, the pain that causes. And a lot of people don't get it, and they don't even think men feel that type of pain. They think we could just move on like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you about that pain. First, let me say, at Wanda, I appreciate you, because at Wanda came out on Christmas Eve just so I could see my kids. She drove all the way from Linwood, Compton, out that way, all the way. I lived in the Valley. She brought her husband and her son, and they were there so I could see my kids. And at this meeting, Toby, because you asked before, how did I know, and Jamal, how did I know she was involved with a cop? My daughter shows up. She's got new toys. I go, where this little beautiful doll come from, baby? And she's only 3 turning 4. She ain't thinking about nothing. Oh, that's Officer Sanchez. And I said, who is Officer Sanchez? Mommy's friend. And you look on the arrest report, who's the arresting officer?
Officer Sanchez.
With a group of other police officers.
Oh, my goodness.
You feel me? So
come on, man.
that was clear to see. And so please know, guys, that this could happen to anybody.
It could happen to anybody. So that's definitely true.
When Toby was talking about the hurt that it causes, there is not a day that I don't wake up thinking about the wrong that has been done to me and my kids. There is not a night that I go to sleep that I'm not hurting about not seeing my kids. I gotta smoke myself to sleep.
Yeah, join the club.
Every
That's
night.
me too, and that shit's painful.
Yes, to go to sleep and not be hurting and mad about the pain. And the reason that I came out and was public about all of this wrong that's being done, because most men are silent, when you isolate yourself, when you stop talking to everybody and you let this pain consume you, Satan comes in, and he will encourage you to do something horrible because these people have done something horrible to you. So at my courthouse, a guy showed up. He couldn't take it no more. He literally stabbed his ex-wife 17 times, and then the sheriff shot him to death at the same courthouse I was going to, trying to seek justice concerning my situation. And many men across the country have lost or given their lives fighting against this corruption. So when you see a man coming and shooting up the court, it's not necessarily that he's crazy.
No, he ain't crazy.
It is that he is being done so wrong
that he can't take it no more.
He can't take it no more, and everybody's not equipped to endure this kind of pain. So I say to all my brothers out there in pain, you need to come out with your story and speak about it. Don't isolate yourself, because that's when Satan gets in and convinces you, persuades you to do something horrible.
Yeah, because this shit, man, I remember, the feelings that I had when I wasn't able to see my child or whatever, it makes you even turn on yourself. You start to think like, damn, I was out there selling dope. I was doing this. That's why this shit is happening to me and blah, blah, blah. And no, everybody makes mistakes. I've done a lot of shit that was wrong, but there's still no reason for anybody to take your kids away from you.
Right. And they'll think that you, in my situation, they would say, oh, he shouldn't have had all them bitches. They don't know my life and what I'm doing in my life. And what does that have to do with my kids? That women love me and that I love women.
Yeah, if you had 100 bitches, that ain't got nothing to do with not seeing your kids.
Me being a father and taking care of my babies, because I have always taken excellent care of my babies. It is my desire to still take excellent care of my babies. And she makes 6 figures and her family owns 6 figures plus, and her family owns a shipping company in the Middle East. She was raised in Dubai, and I still have to pay child support. You feel what I'm saying?
Are you still paying child support to the?
Yeah.
But you don't
Hold
see
on.
it.
I ain't see my babies the whole 9. They got me on child support. Don't know where they are. Haven't been able to speak to them.
Is this money that's going to her, or is it just going to the state?
It could be going to the crooked lawyer that's been robbing her, whether she knows it or not, and robbing me, trying to get me to pay for the fact that he's destroying my life.
Okay, what's the ages of the children now?
My babies are 11, 12, and 16.
Oh, so 3, okay.
They babies, still babies, 11, 12, and 16.
And you haven't seen them in 5 years, you said?
5 years.
Now, how do you pay child support, but you don't see your kids in 5 years? Because I know at one point
they
you said
take child support from you.
Okay.
They take that.
Now, I understand. I remember you saying you was getting supervised visits with a Wanda. How did that stop for you not seeing them?
The lawyer, he attacked at Wanda and ran at Wanda away.
He got into her.
Wanda can comment on that.
Yeah, he got into her. Yeah, that's what they
away.
do. Yeah, they put pressure on her. Get whatever. They want to bring up anything that person's ever done to discredit them, and then eventually it gets to the other person. Like, damn, I love this. I love the person I'm trying to help, but damn, I can't go through all of this. It's too much.
It hurt our friendship terribly. Me and Wanda fell out because I was like, this is my babies. How you gonna quit? She wouldn't talk to me anymore for a while. She couldn't speak to me. And then it took a couple of years, and finally she came to me and she said to me, hey, man, I couldn't be involved any further because of, personal stuff, and that lawyer got at me.
Yeah.
But she ain't the only one. He's gotten at everybody that's tried to help me. He's literally threatened other lawyers. This
is a lawyer doing this?
A lawyer. I have a petition online, Evan Lionel, to disbar this guy on change.org. Go to change.org, right. Evan Lionel, to disbar dishonest attorneys. A lot of people might be scared of these guys, but I ain't. I ain't scared of none of them or nobody.
For one, we black and we've been through shit, and damn, once you take the kids, how the fuck you gonna be scared of the rest of these motherfuckers?
Exactly. What else is there left? And I want to say to my babies, if they ever see this podcast or hear your father's voice, I miss you terribly. I've been fighting. I've exhausted everything that I have fighting for you for the past 7 years. I know I haven't seen you in 5 years. I did not abandon you. I love you and miss you terribly and would take care of you just like I've always taken care of you the moment I see you.
So you can't even talk to him over the phone or write him anything?
And she's been ordered to actually send reports, medical reports, let me speak to them. She's been ordered she's been in contempt for 7 years, and the judge has done nothing. And that's the problem. These women would not be doing this to us if there were consequences, if they were sending their ass to jail, if there was a punishment. But just like white supremacists don't get punished properly, so they go kill masses of people and don't worry about it. Check in with the police. The police take them to eat Burger King. The police just arrest them nicely.
But the police kill a motherfucker selling loose cigarettes.
Exactly. White guys don't worry about the consequences of their actions, and women don't worry about the consequences of their actions. That's why the Brian Banks story is coming out, because a woman lied on him, and ruined his life, and she never suffered any consequences.
Got a check for him.
And admitted it later. And admitted it later like it wasn't shit.
Man, $1 million+ went to her. She ain't never paid it back, and there have been no consequences except a judge ordered her to pay it back. Well, how you gonna pay it back if you spend it?
Where do you believe that they're still in Los Angeles?
It is my hope and my prayer that they are still in Cali. That's my hope and prayer, but I honestly don't know.
What does your heart tell you, Evan, of where they at? Like what's your gut?
My heart tells me they could possibly still be here. But it's real painful to even think about that, Toby.
What's your next move? I know it's like a 7-year fight. What do you do next?
Next move, Jamal, is I'm doing a documentary. I'm gonna start filming that next week. Praise God for that, to tell the story of it. I'm getting ready to write a book about it. In addition to that, I want to write a movie about it, and all y'all gonna be in it because all y'all are part of it. Y'all, Sherry Shepard, Wanda, Stephen Williams, everybody Stephen was at my wedding.
Oh,
so was Sherry. So was Jeff Brown.
Wow.
We got married in Vegas, and I paid for everything, and I was trying to do what my mom said. My mom said, you know, you can't live with that girl and not marry her. That makes her, you know, y'all illegitimate, and your kids will be illegitimate like you are, son. You want that for your kids? And I said, no. And so I married her, and this is what I got for marrying her.
And let me, like, what is the damage this has done to your mom? I know y'all real close. I mean, like, what?
Yeah, because what's her? What is your mom?
Yeah, what does your mom say?
Here's how horrible it is concerning my mom. My mom was calling them to talk to them, and their mother was making them hang up on their grandmother.
Oh my goodness!
Literally, who are you talking to? Grandma. Hang up the phone right now.
So she wouldn't even talk to your mother. Like she wouldn't
talk to my mother. And what's crazy is it divided my family. There are certain people that actually believed her lies in my family that I don't even talk to today.
I could believe that. I got a homeboy that happened to. Like, basically, he thought he had a son. Like, the boy was like 14 years old when he found out that wasn't his real son. And the thing about it is that it divided the whole family in this situation because at this point they decided to take the test, whatever. All this time he'd been taking care of the boy. He's in Nebraska, so he's flying him out to Cali, blah, 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 loving him, all this. And somebody sent the paperwork to his mom and dad's house when they took the test. And his mom and dad opened up the paperwork, and they knew that he wasn't the father, and they didn't tell him for a few months. And then now, because it was so hard for them to tell him, but in the meantime, he didn't talk to them for a long time because he was so upset that they didn't tell him. So it divides families and shit. She knew exactly what she was doing.
It's so many men out there that actually have been taking care of kids that are not theirs. That's what creates even more difficulty for situations like mine because women are lying and nobody's addressing the fact that they're lying. Nobody's holding them accountable. I have a couple of friends. One of them, his son was named after him. And then he found out after the son was grown that it wasn't his baby and that he was calling him Junior, and he wasn't no Junior, wasn't related to him at all, and that was the lie of the mother.
Hey, but that remind me, remember Rodney Perry always had the joke, everybody got somebody in their family that don't look like them, and that's the motherfucker named Junior. Shout out to Rodney Perry. Rodney, that joke always killed me.
Chi-Town's own right there.
Yeah, man.
But that's what's happening to men, but the bottom line is, and I would say this to anyone who's listening who works in any position of authority, whether it be politics or whether it be the courts or whatever, law enforcement, know that these women be lying. And before y'all come at us full force, all gunned up, at least send somebody. I thought you were supposed to send a detective to at least check the story out first. There was nobody that came and questioned me and said your wife is saying X, Y, and Z about you. They let her rally the troops.
They're not gonna do it like that. They're not gonna do it like that. They're not gonna give you no warning at all. They just coming.
Wow.
That's that's just like them raiding a crack house and saying, hey, calling the house and say, hey, we're gonna be over there in 30 minutes.
Right.
Get ready for it.
That's funny. But at least they gotta have evidence that you selling crack though, right? Like, they didn't have no evidence of nothing on me. Check the records, y'all.
Just her word, just her story.
Just her words. And so, Toby, you saying somebody could say he's selling crack and the police going to get gunned up just based on their words of you selling crack and come
now, they're going to send somebody to buy and then hopefully that person get through. But, it's the same type of shit.
Shout out to Wanda White. She's watching too. Shout
Oh,
out to
hey, Wanda. I hope
watching.
you chimed in when we were talking about you earlier and how wonderful you are. And you know, I don't have no problem with thanking you before the entire world, because it's because of you that I was able to see my children for the short time that I was able to see them. Love you.
Now,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was saying, because you put your story out there on pretty much out there online. What kind of response have you gotten from people?
Well, on my petition that's online, change.org, Evan Lionel, I have a few thousand, I think, signatures. Please go to change.org. That's the only way we can change, is if the masses gets together on this situation and actually put forth efforts. I want to change family court so they can stop robbing families and separating parents from their children with crooked lawyers.
Yeah.
If you watch a Netflix special called Divorce Corp, as in corporation, you'll see how crooked a lot of these lawyers are, and unfortunately a lot of judges are as well. And it'll show you that family court needs to be regulated. They need people in authority to literally come down on family court and stop them from doing this wrong to families.
Has anybody at the court, like, I know, like, you know, all my times going to court and going to federal prison and all these situations, every so often when I would have court, there would always be one person who understood, who knew that you was being treated unfairly. Who's that person being down at the courthouse here in L.A.? Like, if somebody came to you, pull you to the side and said, brother, I know they doing you wrong?
Well, they will say that, Toby, but you don't know who the enemy is. You feel me? Because they'll send people to know what your next move is. And here's why I say that. The last time I was in court, which was, I believe, in October. I don't know. I've been so many times, I just can't remember right now. The lawyer, I pointed out on record that the lawyer was lying profusely right in the courtroom. And I said, Your Honor, you just saw him lie. He just perjured himself. I pointed out how he perjured himself, and I'd be glad to show anybody. It's in the record. I bought the transcript. It's clearly there. He's caught lying. He said he served me. He had never served me. And he said he served me in the courtroom. First of all, it's unheard of for somebody to get served in a courtroom. Right. And secondly, he lied and said he served me. And I said, no. I said a sheriff. The sheriff over there is the one that served me, which is illegal because she's supposed to sign it was illegal what they did in court. And so when I said to her, the judge looked at her and she said, I don't remember. I said, this was a month ago. How you forget that? So I went and got the transcript and showed that he was lying, saying he got up and told the judge she didn't serve him. I served him. I walked around the podium. I handed him this and said, you're being served. So I went and got the transcript. It clearly said, and the deputy got up and came to Mr. Lionel and said, you're serving him. So he was caught blatantly lying on record. I said to the judge, so you caught him blatantly lying. How is his credibility still intact, number one? I said, number two, how is he not being held accountable for perjuring himself? Right. The judge said he's not under oath and he's an officer of the court. I said, so that means he can lie and do whatever he wants to do? The judge didn't say anything else after that.
Oh, shit. It's hard for a black man out here, man.
And it's on record. Feel free.
And you know what, though? And you know what, though? It's funny you say like that. It ain't, in this case, it ain't just black. There's white men and Mexican men going through this shit, too.
Men from everywhere is going through it. It's just they harder on us in the system than anybody.
Yeah, because they harder on us on everything. Shit, our jaywalking ticket costs more than the white man's jaywalking ticket. They shit 67, ours is 97.
Everything is hard on us, but other men of all nationalities go through this, and some women go through it too. They do take kids from, you think it just happens to men in this country? If we don't regulate family court, more and more is going to happen to women. It's starting to happen to y'all now too.
It's just amazing that they can just take 3 kids from you. That's just, I know I know it can happen, and it has happened. Obviously, it has happened. It's just still just mind blowing to me that, you know, they won't let you see your kid. They won't let you talk to them.
But you based on nothing, no substantiation.
You got to realize though, this is a better form. This is the same way they took the kids in slavery and took the family. So now they can legally do it. Before they was just doing it, and all the mom and the dad could do is sit there and cry when they watch their kids being taken off. Now they just being taken off by the judge.
Now
it's the same shit.
You said the oldest one is 16?
16. That's what I was gonna get. Like, what?
Is boy or girl?
Boy.
So he's.
So
old
what do
enough,
you like? What do you think he thinks?
Is he's old enough to probably try to get in contact with you? Or?
I honestly think that they have prejudiced my kids' minds against me and told them that I've abandoned them.
They would have had to almost, because they would have been trying to look for you.
And I think they also are telling my kids I'm in jail. Here's why. Every time they try to set up something for me to see my kids, they say it has to be in an institution with police and they have to be armed.
Huh?
And I go, hey, that's what they say. It's on record. Exactly. It's on record. And I say to the judge, what are you talking about? I'm not a criminal. I'm not a convicted felon. I don't have any record against me. What do you mean I got to go see my kids in an institution and all the officers have to be there and be armed? Explain that to me. And their literal explanation is that's what the judge ordered.
Whew, I ain't never heard of. I've never heard no shit like that. So basically, they want your kids to come see you like
I'm in prison.
Like you in prison.
Yeah,
and that's what they probably
you gonna harm them.
Right, that's what they probably tell them.
Who even wants to see their kids in that in that environment?
And so I said, I'm not going to do it.
What institution? Like, what institution are
they
speaking
have a
of?
place that I guess it's for hardened criminals, like people who have raped and mass murdered people, for them to still see their kids. And they're trying to have me go to that place like I'm one of them, and then they bring my babies in, and they ain't seen me for 5 years. So I know y'all lying to my baby saying your father's dangerous, he's in jail. Then they bring my kids to this institution. They scared, they looking, and then I'm sitting in the institution, and whatever I say to them, then the police, hey, you can't hug them, step back, you can't do this, that, and the other. I wish I would do that.
Well, I don't want to say I can't believe nothing because all the shit I've seen, but that's really hard. I mean, that's like, I mean, I can see for like the people that are in institutions setting up those type of visits, but I've never heard that they try to set up a visit like that for somebody who's not even in the institution or been in the institution or has no criminal record like you.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Is she trying to say, like, did she lie to them and say you might hurt your kids?
It shouldn't matter what she's saying, Jamal. Yeah. They're the ones in authority.
Yeah.
They can decipher if someone is dangerous just based on their record.
Right.
So how court is supposed to work is, you say this man is dangerous, where's the proof?
You're right.
Show me the evidence of any time where y'all were married 11 years and he threatened you.
Show me the text messages.
Show me
anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
There should be something on record.
Exactly. There's nothing because I've never done anything. Everybody that knows us, she ain't even the type of woman to do anything like that too. So it's the courts just showing that they have authority, and there's nothing I can do until I find someone who is a higher authority than these local judges and lawyers.
Did you ever, let me just ask you, I know we don't have too much more time.
This is part one.
Yeah, this part one we're going to come back and do. So, I mean, you're married. Did you think back, did you ever see this in her? Like, did you ever possibly that she could do something like this?
I've seen her with crooked lawyers. When I first met her, she was involved with crooked lawyers when she was in college because her parents had disowned her, and so she was doing tricks for crooked lawyers. And I went to the crooked lawyers and told them to stay away from her.
Right.
And I talked to them, and I literally took her and had her let them know. This was before we got married. I said, let them know you are no longer working with them. You're no longer involved, this, that, and the other. And I said to them, y'all heard her. So, yeah, she was involved with crooked lawyers, but I did not know she was this devious and would lie and would go to bad people and have them try to take my life.
Did you have any idea that she was cheating or any? Did the thoughts ever cross your mind?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, she was caught cheating a couple of times. Everybody think our marriage broke up because of me cheating. That's what everybody think. Evan is the one. He shouldn't have had those bitches. That's the whole thing. But she was caught cheating, Tobe.
And that's funny. I got to be honest with you, homie. I've heard people say that stupid shit.
Exactly.
I have heard motherfuckers say, It must have been all them bitches he was
Well, that
fucking.
still don't have nothing to do with.
And I mean,
that had nothing to
yeah.
do with him not seeing his kids.
No.
That's y'all just get a divorce.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, it didn't work out. You know.
Yeah.
That's all. And what they didn't know was I was not even with my wife as husband and wife when all the bitches was around. So if that's what they thinking, that wasn't the case. Me and my wife was not together, and we had a clear agreement. That's people that's not knowing our business. My wife was caught. Here's the first time she was caught. My son he was just born. I was keeping him. She was on a business trip. I called her hotel because my son wouldn't stop crying at 2 in the morning. I kept calling the room, and all of a sudden, a dude answers her phone and goes, hello. I go, who the fuck is this? Answering my wife's phone. Who the fuck?
Not
what?
the
Huh?
cell phone
What?
or the hotel room
The
phone?
cell phone.
Cell phone.
What? Huh? Then he look at the phone. Oh shit! Then you hear him say, "Oh shit!" Then the phone jumping around and shit. Then he hear her, "It's your phone, not mine." Then she go, "What? You answer my phone?" Then the phone hang up. Then the phone hang up, right?
Shit.
Now I'm calling 300,000
Yeah,
times
yeah,
if you
that-
don't
yeah.
answer this phone.
Yeah.
Then she answers 30 minutes later, hello. And I go, what the fuck do you think this is? Put that nigga back on the phone. And I recognize his voice. He was the partner her business partner that worked for the company she worked for that was on the business trip too. I knew his wife, the whole nine.
Shit.
So she put him on the phone. I checked his ass. Then I told him to get her back on the phone and get his ass up out of her room. And then I talked to her. She was the first one caught in the game, but that was my wife. Did I leave her? No.
No, you didn't. I mean, you're in love. Yeah. I mean, I feel you.
And this just the beginning, Toby.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Y'all ain't heard nothing.
I got one just last question. Like at one point your kids are gonna get older. They I think they're obviously gonna search you out. They have your last name.
Yes,
Yeah. So
Lionel,
kids want to know no matter what when they get older, they're gonna want to inquire about my pop. You know, what would you say to them? Like, I mean, have you thought about that? Like,
well,
when they get a little
everybody
older?
says just
I got a
show
feeling
'em-
the oldest one. I got a feeling he'll find you soon. Go ahead.
I sure hope so. I think that if he contacts me, of course I'll be happy to hear from him. And a lot of people say show him all the court paperwork. It's so much court paperwork. Ain't no kid gonna want to read none of that. So
Plus, that ain't gonna do nothing anyway.
Right,
Yeah, that
right.
ain't gonna
Show
do
them where the court lied and where his mom
Yeah, I
lied. They
mean-
don't want to really hear that. I want to write a book and actually tell them what happened to their father, so they know what happened to their dad, and that I never abandoned them. I never deserted them. I've always wanted to be with them and in their lives. I was simply blocked by their mother, a corrupt attorney, and several corrupt judges.
Yes.
Wow.
Listen, this is just part one, ladies and gentlemen. This is just part one. This is an incredible story. We got to have you. Hopefully, we're gonna set it up and get you back quick, because we want to hear.
Yeah, we got it. Part two will be coming right back.
I knew some of this, some of the story. I didn't know, I'm really fucked up, to tell you the truth. I knew what was going on with you, but I didn't know to this extent.
Yeah. And you just heard just the beginning.
Yeah, this
Jamal.
is just.
But see, I knew what was going on, but I didn't have to hear nothing. Just the fact that you ain't seen your children in a period of time, that right there let me know how fucked up shit was. And I know you was trying and do all that, and I know it wasn't on you when it comes to that. So this whole time, I mean, even times we don't see each other, whatever, I've always felt that pain for you because I know what that feels like. And until you know what that feels like, I mean, there's men right now across the country, they can hear Evan's story, they can hear shit.
And you and your son, Toby, when y'all was reunited, but y'all still some effects to what happened.
But now that he's a grown man, he's come to me and let me know that, he understood and he knows that, I was never trying to not be in his life or whatever. He knows that. So and these kids, your kids will definitely know. And especially the older one, because he was old enough to remember and to know. And there's no telling the type of lies that have had to been told to him to keep him in the dark when it comes to this matter. and the pain that it's caused you and your mom and your other family and you know, and the family members you had disputes with and all this shit.
They haven't, my side of the family have not seen my kids at all. She has literally kept them from all of our family, including the idiots in our family that sided with her. She don't talk to them no more either, just to let them know who they are.
Exactly.
And let me say this before we go to all the men out there. Do not isolate yourself. A lady said this to me at court. She said, you know why men lose all the time? Because they never say anything about what's being done wrong to them. They quietly leave and they keep it to themselves. It's time for us to speak up. I didn't know you were going through it, Tobe. Mark Prince is going through it right now. I got several cousins going through it right now. Romeo Johnson is many entertainers that have gone through it. Many men across the country.
The reason why men be quiet is because when some shit is this fucked up, we felt to feel the shame part apart. So we feel, you know, we feel embarrassed. You know, the system try to make us feel, even when we know we didn't did shit right, it still tries to make us feel wrong. And it's just a sense of like how men ain't supposed to cry or how a little boy's supposed to be tough. This is all the same shit. This is from the same tree of shit.
And that's not.
Nigga, you just supposed to take this. Fuck it. You can't see your kids.
Yeah.
Because then that's when they'll throw up the niggas who have kids and don't try to be in their life.
Toby's 100%.
So that's how they flip that shit. So it makes you don't want to say nothing.
We got a last question on our Instagram feed. You want to answer this? Can't get a Chocolate Shy say, can you get it transferred out of the jurisdiction to get a fair shake?
Not when they corrupt.
And what's up, Chocolate Shy? I love you, sis.
Someone in authority has to step in. I've asked that my case be fully investigated, and it has to be someone powerful in authority because they did open an investigation on my case, and mysteriously the supervising judge closed the investigation with no reason why and disappeared. A lot of judges that have been on my case, they seem to be taken out of the court, and y'all just heard the beginning of what has happened to me. They've been trying to give me prison time for the longest, and I ain't even told y'all about that and the lies they create.
We're gonna have hopefully
part two
coming
up right behind this.
Yeah, coming right behind this, man. Evan, appreciate you coming. Everybody want to hear part 2 of it, man. So definitely, you know, this is something that needs to be said and a story that needs to be heard.
And like Evan said to all the men out there, if you're going through this, talk to people about it. Tell the story. Call the newspapers.
Call in here.
Yeah. Call us. 818-335-2065. 818-335-2065.
But definitely hit us up on our Instagram page, Dope Dealers Podcast, Dope Dealers. Where can they find you at, Evan?
Because this is something that we gotta stay on this, all of us, because this shit is not right. And so we gotta keep letting people know about this. So hit us up. Hit us up if you're going through something similar.
And y'all can hit me on Facebook, Evan Lionel, or Evan Lionel 9828 or 2898, or the real Evan Lionel. You can also hit that petition, Evan Lionel, on change.org to stop corrupt attorneys and family court. Please sign that petition, Evan Lionel, on change.org to stop corrupt attorneys and family court. Y'all can catch me in concert with Chico DeBarge August 17th in San Diego. Right now I got so much on my mind about my kids.
That nigga went way back. Nigga, catch me with Chico DeBarge.
Chico, my DeBarge family. Everybody think they my family, so they my family.
No doubt, man.
And I'll be talking about it there as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. No doubt, man. We love you guys, man. Definitely, check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Dope Dealers.
Hey, tell a friend about this episode, episode 77 and then 78 with Evan Lionel. Tell a friend, help get this out. Oh, man.
Yeah, definitely. Hit us up. Shout out to our sponsors this week, Doman Cheap Movers. Doman Cheap Movers, the #1 moving company in San Fernando Valley. If you need a move,
we'll make it smooth.
Definitely. That's how we do it,
man.
And
before we go, shout out to J. Anthony Brown.
Yes.
We headed up there the last night of the J Spot Comedy Club in Inglewood.
We're going to tell you all about it next week, man. We headed up there now, man.
J Spot Comedy Club closing in Inglewood. Damn.
One of the premiere.
Last night.
Yeah, the last night. But next week we'll have, look at our Instagram page. We have pictures and videos, and next week we'll talk about all the fun. We love you guys, man. Shout out to Paul, our engineer, everybody at Comedy Pop-Up. Peace out.
Dope Dealers Podcast.